So I was kind of surprised that 15 of the 19 members of the cabinet are member of Nippon Kaigi.
This is right wing.
Right
wing group. But this, I think, we need to consider the contents of this bill. Several issues is not right wing, but Nippon Kaigi itself is a heavy right wing party. Okay, and because of many Japanese didn't study World War II, didn't study modern history, so many people jeopardized by education, depending on what kind of school they graduated. And normally, many people, they didn't study before World War II. So very easily to be influenced by left-wing people or right-wing people. For example, I discussed with last Saturday regarding imperial script to education.
Right.
And Westerners, everybody denied the contents of this imperial script. But if we're going to read carefully the contents of these sentences, I believe the content nothing wrong. But everybody says that, Westerners says that this is imperialism with military power. So sort of, very much influenced by GHQ after World War II. But this kind of script to education is sustained for past more than 100 years in Japan. And the other issues and the contents of this video is they say they consider for the Japanese anthem and Japanese flag. They respect the Japanese anthem flag. But usually, if you talk with Japan Teachers Association, they deny the Japanese flag and anthem because they say this is nationalism, this is imperialism. They say, but this is very much influenced by Communist Party. But this is Communist Party, influenced by Communist Party. If going to just common sense, I don't think this is right-wing statement for regarding national anthem, Japanese flag respect. Okay. And on this video, third one is denying of Nanjing massacre. That is wrong. And under the World War II, Japan waged war against China, and they killed ordinary people, more than 6 million ordinary people, while World War II, and including Nanjing, Suzhou, and Changsha, many cities, every other city they killed, raped every city. And I studied about but English material, not Japanese, never says that, but they invaded China, many area, many cities except Manchuria, and always they invaded and killed those people, ordinary people. And I believe Mao Zedong picked just only one city, and with exaggeration because neglecting the remaining other city, many cities. So they tried their people to focus on Nanjing city, lying the figure. And I read a lot of material, Japanese written and overseas written. And the Nanjing massacre is just only happened only for the soldiers. They killed POW, about I don't know how many, just roughly 40,000 people killed by machine gun. But they don't kill ordinary people. Or coincidentally, they killed maybe, I don't know, I'm not sure, 10,000 or 20,000. This is ordinary, war incident happening happen or 20 or 10 or 20 or 30,000 because Chinese soldiers usually they don't wear military suits. Many people are wearing normal full suits, so Japanese soldiers cannot recognize who's the enemy or not. So sort of people misunderstand they killed. So not like a 200,000, much more less than that figures. But I tell you, we don't know how many. But at least Japanese soldiers killed POW people, 40,000. But might be more than that. Might be in totally 70,000 or 60,000 or I don't know. But this sort of things. But I tell you, these things happen not only in Nanjing, everywhere, all over China. So, but Chinese government never talking about other cities except Nanjing. This is very strange, right? And at that time, 70 years ago, Chinese government considered maybe I think some noises here. Yano, you just stop your microphone.
I don't know what it is.
No, Yano's.
Microphone?
No, your microphone.
It's me? Okay, let me shut my microphone. Maybe it's me? 1 second.
Yes, yeah. Huh? Yes, right. Okay. Still no noising.
How about now?
No. Yano, can you stop your microphone?
No, I didn't use the microphone.
No, your microphone.
I don't think it's the problem.
Okay, stopped. Okay, huh?
No, didn't stop.
No.
Okay.
Okay, stopped. Okay, stop. So, okay, stop. So, okay, whenever you're going to start to speak and just open your microphone. Okay. So, Nanjing massacre is actually not a true story. And actually happened, but not only Nanjing, but all over China. But nobody discuss about those issues. And history is very difficult to figure out how many, which cities happened. And on this video, I just have just only 3 points. I just feel if you're going to see this video, the Japanese people see this video, obviously they are Nippon Kaigi is right-wing party, like a kindergarten people, and they feel all people feel strange, recite for imperialist script to education, because after World War II, Japanese people educated. Imperialist script to education is terribly focus on imperialism and militarism, and they not to study the contents of this script. But the major Japanese politician, they respect that script, and everybody put those script in their diet room. Key politicians, of course, not Communist Party.
Why is that so important? Because I don't know the contents of the rescript actually, but why is that rescript so important?
This is exactly content. Exactly almost 95% is the same as Manchu. Manchu is representative of Confucianism. And Meiji Emperor, after restoration, he tried to continue studying for Confucianism. So he just picked up key essence from Confucianism. At Edo era, Tokugawa Baku taught soldiers to study Confucianism, benevolence, righteousness, and very strict education for the following their regime. Kind of Confucianism is structures mind, education for structure, for social structure mindset. So also,
but that doesn't sound like it's very right wing or.
No, not right wing. This is a much more Japanese spiritual mental attitude for Japanese spirit. It means you need to communicate with a friend, your boss, your wife, your family, and talk with people more politely and take care of your followers. Sort of things they are talking about. So it means Hachiko Ichu is a basic concept for this script to education. And you need to communicate at everybody surrounding you. But the last sentence is you need to much more respect for emperor. This is the last word is everybody don't like it. But respect for emperor is the common sense, nothing wrong. Emperor is kind of most respected person in Japan, and I know that. And emperor never thinking bad thing, just only right thing every day, talking with Japanese ancient gods, and he never think about irregular things, and he cannot speak out wrong things. Always he talking about consider for Japanese people, so nothing wrong.
Right, but he's also a
many people don't respect him.
No, I don't think that's the problem. I think the problem from an outside perspective is that putting all the power in the hands of the emperor, who is a non-political figure, is very dangerous, because he can very easily be abused for political agenda of others, because he cannot protect himself. Basically, he is a figurehead that can be used and abused by political figures, as happened in World War II. There's nothing to say, nothing bad about the emperor, but if you put a non-political figure at the absolute center of power, that means that other people will have an easy way, a non-democratic way to actually influence Japan. I think that is the concern. I don't think it's against the emperor. It's against a state where there is a centralized power in a non-political figure. That is, I think, is very dangerous.
Exactly, you're right. So we need to analyze now what is the dangerous point we need to more focus on. And emperor does not do anything defense force, and also we don't change constitution Article 9, and but actually military exists in Japan. Who is organized this military power, and who try to utilize this military power to against future enemy? Who is the future enemy? And Japan is a very strong treaty with the United States. How are we going to consider for kind of relationship? Emperor will going to be influenced, or Nippon Kaigi try to utilize the emperor for that? Of course, many aspects we will need to be considered as dangerous. And Japanese people is my concern is most Japanese people very much educated by Communist Party organized Teachers Association. So they have very biased education already past 70 years. This is very risky aspect I have. Also, imperialism versus communist party's opinion.
And how come it's so politicized in Japan versus other countries? Because I don't feel, for example, the Netherlands, that education is politicized. Okay, maybe there is an overrepresentation of left-wing teachers, because basically teachers do not make a lot of money. Therefore, it's in their best interest to have a strong socialist government. They receive their salaries from the government, basically. So it kind of makes sense for them to be more left-wing oriented, but it's not. I don't think it really reflected into the education that strong. How come this happens in Japan? What kind of political movement?
Oh, okay, this is several issues we need to confront. At MacArthur landed, he misunderstood Teachers Association situation, and he coordinated with this association. But actually, the Teachers Association believed that Japan will going to be occupied by Soviet Union. So their educational stance is more focused on the Communist Party. And then since then, they try to keep going that concept until now. So almost none of Japanese teachers never stand up national anthem and flagging Japanese flag, hoisting Japanese flag.
But hasn't the whole image of that, like if you look at this video of Nippon Kaigi, to be honest with you, it makes me a little bit uncomfortable to see this. Hasn't the whole attitude of the teachers or has become more polarized by this Nippon Kaigi? So what we are looking at, there's nothing wrong. Yeah, sure, there's nothing wrong, but actually the real agenda is not so much about education. It's much deeper than that. The polarization is much more, so Nippon Kaigi, what you're saying is the contents of the imperial rescript of education. Is nothing wrong with that. But perhaps there is a deeper motivation that is much more sinister than what is written in the rescript itself. The same way on the left-hand side. What kind of deep political forces are there? Because there's a lot of people who are quite passionate about it. A lot of your students are quite passionate about it. And for me, it's very strange. Why is this such a big issue?
Okay, this video is intentionally prepared for the right-wing Japanese dangerous right-wing movement. So combined all those messages, they intentionally try to organize this Nippon Kaigi dangerous organization. So mixing normal common sense area and bad thing. But fortunately, Japanese ordinary people educated, all those contents are bad for Japanese people based upon Communist Party's education system. But at my aspect, some is bad, some is just common. And especially, I think good opportunity to talk with Ed about the imperial rescript to education, the contents of what they're talking about. Maybe you or some negative opinion, the last sentence of this rescript. This is much more focused on the respect for emperor, but I'd like to discuss about this sentence. This is everybody, Westerners, strongly against the last sentence. The other remaining is Monzu sentence, nobody against it. So we need Japanese education system, we need to more respect for this script for based upon Hachiko issue. Hachiko issue is nothing wrong idea, concept, but this is denied by GHQ, American military government, after World War II. So
it's the same. I think it's the same problem, like what you're saying. Okay, put the emperor, respect for the emperor, can create a political situation where a non-political figure becomes the head of the state and can easily be abused. Hakuichi could very easily be abused for a colonialist, imperialist movement. So it's not in the letter of the of both teachings. Probably, it's just how it's applied to society and what's the real intention behind this that makes this questionable for people outside of Japan.